going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, we may not have gotten the full trailer that we expected last Friday on April 4th, the one that they most likely showed at CinemaCon, but there is a good reason for that. We're going to talk about when that full trailer is actually coming. In the meantime, and to celebrate the brand new Cover Story and Entertainment Weekly, Marvel Studios actually released a brand new video promo today alongside some still shots that came in the Entertainment Weekly coverage, and there is some brand new footage from the film in here that we're going to break down, most likely revealing the origin story for this Fantastic Four. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing recently. We have been growing again at a breakneck pace, and if you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so. It's the number one thing you can do to support us here at the channel. Plus, it'll enter you for the PS5 giveaways. There's actually 2 next week. Again, all you got to do, be a subscriber, leave a comment. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so Matt Shakman, the director, has already pretty well stated on the record that this is not an origin film, that the whole purpose of the film isn't to focus on the origin story of the Fantastic Four, but rather when we pick up with them in this other universe, they'll already be established as a superhero team. But given some of the shots that we saw in the very first trailer and some of the very first test footage that we know they shot for the Fantastic Four, there was always a chance we were going to get some sort of flashback, and that's pretty much what they premiered in new footage today and during this promo, again, for Entertainment Weekly. They have the footage framed in the exact same feathered aspect ratio frame that they had over the initial part of the first trailer, and it really shows documentary style, basically them suiting up and for what looks like might be the corresponding comic book origin where they went up in an experimental spaceflight and it exposed them to cosmic rays that gave them their powers. That's pretty much what we think we're seeing here. But alongside the footage that was released, Entertainment Weekly released 4 or 5 still shots as exclusives, and there is one Easter egg that popped up in 2 of the images that seem like they might be becoming increasingly more important. And I'm not talking about the paperwork that Sue Storm has here in civilian clothing, possibly for the Fantastic Four or the Future Foundation or the Baxter Building, etc. I'm talking about these wristwatches. Now, in the first trailer, we see Ben Grimm check his almost as if he's checking the time, so it's safe to assume that's what they are. And remember, they are a space crew, so it would be normal for them to have a means of comms. But keep in mind, Sue's not in uniform here. It doesn't look like she's doing anything superhero sort of involved, and she's still got this on. Now, notice in this other still frame, Johnny Storm doesn't look like he's suited up either, but he is also wearing this exact same style watch that may be comms or maybe something else. And that's where fans have gone on to specifically point out its sort of resemblance to another famous bracelet in the MCU, the fully functioning time-space GPS that Tony Stark created during the Infinity Saga so that the Avengers could go back to certain points in time that also required Pym particles to work. Now, I don't think it's too much of a reach to start assuming that these may have a major implication or might help them, say, navigate the multiverse, because we know that that's what's going to happen in this film. At some rate, the Fantastic Four have to make it into our 616, but just being long and cylindrical or one bracelet looking like another, bracelets look the same, they're pretty much all the same shape, that's definitely not enough reason to speculate that these may be similar or connected in any way. But what we do know is in that most recent trailer edit that they showed at CinemaCon, and again, I will talk about why we didn't get that last week and why we will get it soon, in that most recent trailer, Reed Richards specifically says, "I stretched space and they noticed," almost in the same way that Tony Stark uttered, "When you mess with time, it's gonna mess back." So something has happened here. He's had some sort of breakthrough in possibly understanding how the multiverse works, and that's what might have attracted Galactus in the first place. And to think it might have something to do with these bracelets, okay, maybe, or maybe these are just all the specific watches that Reed Richards invented for them to wear so that they could have comms if they ever need to meet up and suit up. Because as far as we know, while this is a retro-futuristic landscape, and they do seem to have some retro tech and some futuristic tech, we haven't seen anything near cell phones or anything like it in any of the trailer footage, and I don't suspect that we will. Now, to address that CinemaCon trailer that they did show on 4/3 that was rumored to be dropping on April 4th for Fantastic Four Day and never came, there is a reason that they showed that edit. It will be released soon as the theatrical release trailer attached to the Thunderbolts. So while we may be waiting a week or 2 more, maybe even close to a month for that next trailer, that's the one that people are going to see in theaters when the Thunderbolts goes live at the beginning of May. So they will be posting that to YouTube in the next, say, couple of weeks or so, maybe by the end of the month. I would suspect that same week that Thunderbolts goes live in theaters, but before it does, because again, that's just extra marketing for the MCU. Another reason, if people haven't already bought tickets, to go and see it, and in close proximity, it's not going to override it. I think it's fair to assume that may have something to do with why they didn't drop it on Friday as well when you had tickets for Thunderbolts going out this week. They want to make sure that they focus on what's in front of them. They've got 2 movies left this year. We can get to the Fantastic Four, we've got plenty of time, but hey, go ahead and focus on Thunderbolts, go ahead and focus on them selling tickets this week. We'll get that Fantastic Four trailer by the end of the month. In the meantime, we're going to be getting an onslaught of brand new TV spots for the Thunderbolts starting in about a week or 2, and then it won't stop. Based on Marvel's recent marketing campaigns for all of their movies, that's just something they feel like they have to do now, and really, to me, they end up revealing too much, and right before the movie comes out, I am so hoping they don't do that with Thunderbolts, but there might not be too much more left to reveal, except for how the thing ends, and we will talk about that in a theory video, but man, don't do it with the Fantastic Four. We know so little about what's really going to happen during this film at the end, how they may deal with or defeat Galactus, what it has to do with the Doomsday of it all, and whether or not we're going to see Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom and some real build-up to Avengers Doomsday. Do not oversaturate those trailers. Leave it a complete mystery. I am all for it because they've been able to do this now. We went into Deadpool and Wolverine without really knowing what the plot of that was either, how things would be resolved. I'm really hoping Marvel Studios can keep that up. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below about all these new shots. What is going on with those bracelets? Do you think it's just comms? Do you think it's something else? What do you think Reed Richards did to quote-unquote stretch space? And of course, let me know all your thoughts and how hype you are for the movie in the comments. I'm all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s, and as I mentioned, because it hasn't happened in a long time, but someone did not claim the last PS5 announcement, we will actually be giving away 2 for Daredevil's finale next week. So if you want to be entered or for any of the future giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here, live with my voice in the winning comment shown on screen when there is one, so please be safe and vigilant on my channel, really any other channel. If there should be a comment that says you've won a prize, they're just trying to get you to pay for shipping for a prize that doesn't exist. It's a scam. Report those comments to YouTube. They will delete those accounts very fast. You're doing everybody on the platform, not just the content creator who's suffering from it, a huge service. I would sincerely appreciate it. The best way to keep up with the content is to hit that notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places. Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes with original music under the name Allfires. And in fact, I just dropped a brand new single that happens to be blowing up at the moment with my homie KJ Saga. Some of you may recognize him from Pendulum. You may not be into D&B, but if you want to check out my new single, it'll be linked down below. And again, you just clicking on it helps throw it out in the algo to people who do want to hear it, and I'd appreciate the support, whether or not it's for you. Either way, just clicking on it really helps. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.